There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
A&M history here. This is being pre-recorded
Yeah.
because I will be out of town next week. So we decided to do it on a Saturday because I didn't feel like doing it on Thursday. I wasn't feeling 100%. There's stuff going around, so people are getting sick. So yeah. So this is gonna be a pre-recorded one. This one is on Disney Hauntings. So I have my tablet, like I normally. That's not what I wanted. So, but she wanted to bring up something for you guys.
I wanted to
So
bring up two things. So one, we're going to talk about a little bit about Trey Reed. And there was somebody else, and I will find him before the end of this before I stop talking about this. So
Willow, she has the zoomies. I mean, she took a poop. Like
yeah,
you all wanted to know that. But
yeah.
whenever Willow has her zoomies, she went to the bathroom, and now so she's zooming through the house
Mm-hmm.
like a turd.
So Trey Reed is a boy. He was 21 years old. He was a college student. He was found hanging from a tree in. Oh no!
Our poster
Our
falling.
poster. We need more tape. Also, we got a thing that says it's Halloween ghouls.
So yeah, we're trying to be
He's
a little
spooky.
decorative and spooky. But like I told Abigail, I just need to find somewhere that will let me do like a banner. We need a freaking banner, okay?
We do need a banner.
We just need a damn banner, and then we'll just have to buy one every few months or so to like promote our stuff. Okay, keep going.
Okay. So Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree in Delta. Let me make sure I get the college correct.
Sorry.
Delta State University in Mississippi. Now here's where it gets weird. When his parents were called to notify him of his death, the police told them that he was found in his dorm room in his bed. That's how they had found him.
Okay.
He was actually found hanging from the tree. And so the parents did not find that out until news reporters talked to them about it.
Oh,
so they didn't find that out from the police.
Oh, and our new shirts. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
we got these at Walmart. They're like $6 to $8 at Walmart, but we thought this would be a cool thing to start wearing during our podcast since we do the true crime stuff. So okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
They found him hanging from a tree. There was no reports of a ladder being found near the tree either. For a little bit, there was rumors going around that both of his arms and legs were broken. His parents disputed that, but they also said he had no suicidal ideation. So it was a little weird that he would be hanging from a tree.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know about you. I don't know very many people who hang themselves from trees nowadays.
Yeah, usually
it's going to be in the
where they're at.
Where they're at. It's not going to be out in public like that. I do know Colin Kaepernick is going to be paying for a private autopsy because that kind of separation, that the difference between what the police told the family versus what actually would happen, has already caused a whole lot of mistrust between the family and the police, which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to tell me my kid was found dead in his dorm room, and then I hear from a news reporter that
it was something different,
that he was hanging from a tree, I'm not going to trust you to tell me the
my
truth.
My distraughtness would become more pissed off.
Yes, and they are actually very pissed off. They were very upset about the rumors going on. And it was because people had seen him and they said something looked weird about his arms and legs.
Mm-hmm. Did they do x-rays?
They did not, but they did do an autopsy.
Okay.
But Colin Kaepernick is also paying for a private autopsy. So
and an investigator, right?
And a private investigator. Yeah, he's basically paying for a private team to go ahead and investigate it because the family doesn't trust the autopsy, and I don't blame them. There have been numerous cases.
Lied to.
There have been numerous cases where black men have been hanging from trees, and they have been ruled suicides in the past.
Yeah.
And then later on, they find out it was not a suicide. Also, something that's really weird is I don't know any college that doesn't have cameras.
Yeah, true. I mean, they could ask to look at. Well, if he's got
there was no cameras on the tree or in the main area where he was found hanging.
Like, I wonder if they could sit there and. I mean, they're going to have cameras throughout the campus.
But that's the thing. They're like, oh yeah, we never saw him. They can't trace it.
Huh.
They're like, oh, that's weird. But there was another man. He was homeless. That one I do know that they are investigating
Yeah.
for foul play. Last I heard,
Okay.
and he was actually found hanging from a tree, also in Mississippi, and the same day as Trey Reed,
Oh wow.
a couple hours apart. Uh, Corey Zucadis, I do believe his name is.
Now,
Um,
was he, not to sound this way, but was he also African American or was
yes,
he white guy? Okay.
he was also African American. He was 36, and he was homeless. Um, they are investigating Zucadis's death as a potential um what's it called? Trying to
Oh.
think. Yeah. Oh no, one he was white.
Oh. Okay.
Let me do a little bit of.
So while she's digging and looking, like I said, this is going to be Disney Hauntings because I do know that there are a few of the rides that are haunted. And they're also saying that the park is also haunted because there's been video evidence of seeing a white apparition walking through the park, and a lot of people think that it's Walt checking on his park to see how it's going. Well, I've also looked up, and this is, I'm going to give the credit to Haunted Disneyland Stories, which is Haunted Orange County. So I do not take credit for this. This is all them. I was just going through to find research, and this is literally people that worked for Disney, work for Disney, and in Disneyland, and these are their stories
Mhm.
and what they say they have experienced. I know on that one ride that you like, that's now the Guardians. A gentleman was on the ride, and you can find it on. You can go on YouTube and you can look up the video yourself. But there was a gentleman that was testing it because you know how they close it down for
Yeah.
refurbishment, making sure everything is safe. And I'll get into that too, because there's something popped up on my feed today about a woman who died on the bobsled ride
Yeah.
because of her buckling.
Oh.
So I will get into that. I that just popped up, so I'll have to find that out and look. But she might be in the other thing that I looked up. But the gentleman that was on it testing the ride, and he looked so unfazed by this ride. The fact that it dropped so many times, I want to smack him because he's just
He's
all like,
probably done it a million
yeah,
times.
he's all sitting there like this, like, and I'm like, I could not be the person that wanted to test that ride. But if you notice in the video, you will see a black apparition because where he is sitting, there is an apparition that is up in the corner seat, and it literally moves down to the row, like either next to him or behind him. But it kept like moving closer to where he was at. So there's been, and I've heard about, there was a story about a hanging. Somebody hung themselves in on It's a Small World, so maybe that's why it feels creepy to me. Besides the dolls, and again, I found other stories about things that have happened and stories that have happened. Two places that I found it, like I said, is Haunted OC, so it's Haunted Orange County, is one place that I found information. And another one is wonderwisdom.com. That's another person that I found information on it as well. And that person has the different stories of what has actually happened from people from back in the day till about now. So I mean,
And I'm sorry I'm not super up to date with the Trey Reeds and all of the Corey Zucadis. I recently found out about them. Um, and I think it's something important to talk about. So the Corey Zucadis was a 36-year-old man. He was white, but he was a drug addict and he was homeless at the time. Which recently, in the past couple of days, there has been a lot of violence towards homeless people of all races. And a lot of people are calling out both of these things because they were found hours apart from each other. Um, they're calling them lynchings.
which
And the
you don't
Corey
really hear that much anymore these days, like
about
you
it,
used to.
yeah. Um, uh, Corey Zacchaeus, they're actually not done with his autopsy, which I find weird because the Trey Reed's autopsy, they're like, yeah, we already done, it's finished. The Corey Zucadis, after they said that they were still doing the autopsy, they haven't done much of it. They're still investigating it.
And
Um,
how weird is it? And I'm going to throw this out there because to me it does sound like an issue that you could be done with one person's autopsy, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, we're done. But then here's another gentleman that, oh no, we're not done with it yet.
we're not done investigating it.
How you're So I'm sorry, but to me that's like a
And
race.
the yeah,
Sounds like a race thing to me that they're
well, I guess
that's
I
ridiculous.
misunderstood. They did not find out when a journalist talked to them. They
Mm,
turned on the news and they found out that their kid was hanging from a tree.
Jesus.
So they didn't even, the police were like, yeah, he was in the dorm room. They turn on the
Cheese and
news.
crackers.
They turn on the news and the news is like, yes, a young boy was found hanging from a tree. And they were like, excuse me, is
That's
this our
ridiculous.
son? And then they, at this point, they have no trust or faith in the police.
Well, prayers to the families. And regardless if the other man, Corey, is homeless, he has a family out
Yes,
there.
he does. And
He has
his
one.
mother was like, yes, he was a drug addict at the time. It doesn't excuse any violence towards
Of what is
anybody.
going on and what happened. So prayers to both families of what they're going through right
And
now.
prayers to the
And
victims of
yes,
the Minneapolis homeless shootings. There was two, I do believe,
yeah,
where a homeless encampment was shot at.
and it's this is becoming stupid, very
This
very
is
stupid.
it is. It's
Violence is not the answer for any dang thing in this world. Let me tell you what I posted, and we will get to the hauntings, I promise. I posted on Facebook one word: forgiveness. A couple weeks, I'm going to do another word. I'm going to continue to do words because and not everybody is a believer of the Bible or of God,
mm-hmm.
and that's your preference. Again, we don't do politics on here. We don't do religious stuff. But right at this moment, I'm going to. So I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. I really don't. Okay. I was reading two stories of two people that had died and come back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They were standing in front of Jesus because they knew it was him because they felt the peace, the love, all this. And one of the girls said that God did not care about her doubts or her negative thoughts about herself or anything else. We are so wrapped up in greed, hate, and power that we have forgotten all about forgiveness, compassion, and love. Those are the three biggest things that we have all forgotten about. Who cares? We don't care. We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to no. Because of greed, power, and hate have overpowered forgiveness, compassion, and love.
And now we'll get on to the second thing I found out. I found out on the internet today, and I have to share it with a bunch of people.
But my whole thing is God wants us to do forgiveness, compassion, and love because of the three biggest things that He wants us to push out there.
The
I
Bible.
love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. I really don't. You could be a drug user, a homeless person. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like the girl said in her experience that she had, she was technically dead for 11 minutes. 11 minutes. And her interaction with God, which that's amazing. Which her and another lady got to have this interaction with Jesus. I mean, sorry. But the fact that he was showing her, and it was a homeless dude that stabbed her, and he was showing her different things, her past and things like that, of course. But he wasn't judging her on it. That's the thing. He was showing her what she could do to change things and help change things, right? So after she was stabbed and all this goes on, and she's in front of Jesus and having this interaction with him and everything, it got to the point where he showed her when she was stabbed. She's like, well, okay, what is it? Like I don't. She didn't understand. He was showing her that man that stabbed her and what he went through as a child. He would hide under his bed because his parents were screaming and yelling and arguing. And he just went through and was showing her, and she broke down. She's like, "Oh my gosh!" No matter what the person looks like on the inside and what they are dealing with, you don't know what we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what we're dealing with because we don't tell people. I keep mine and John's business out of our family's business
Mm-hmm.
because it's between us. If we need something, we need help, of course we will reach out to family no matter what because we know family is there. It's the same thing with our kids. If they need help from us, we will do our best to help. But there have been times that John and I will be out and about, and this is not to knock anybody, but we were out with his daughter one day, and she made a comment about a homeless person. It's like, you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what happened to that person to get them where they are today, why they're homeless, and all of this stuff.
It's
So it doesn't. You hate is the stupidest word ever.
mm-hmm.
I don't like the word. I don't say hate. I say dislike. I always say dislike.
And it's why also like when we're talking about like these killers, right? I'll commonly say you feel bad for the child, not the adult, but you feel bad for the child for
Because
what the
what
child
happened?
has gone through.
Yeah, what has happened to that child? Always remember that there is something deeper that that person is going through. Maybe they just need somebody to talk to. Maybe they need help taking them to a homeless shelter to get them out of the streets or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. You know, giving them money. John and I don't ever give them money. If we have food that we're not going to be able to eat and we see a homeless person, we give them food.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they take it or not, that's their choice. And their reasoning for being out on the streets, if it was by their choice, then it's by their choice. But causing a ruckus, causing all of this is it's dumb. I'm
It
going to say
is.
it's dumb. There's no reason for it. So remember, forgiveness, compassion, and love are the biggest three things that God would like us to push out there. And again,
And I'm not super religious. I'm a cradle Catholic. I was born Catholic, raised Catholic. And like most cradle Catholics, I have taken a step back.
yeah, and the same way. I'm a Christian, but do I live the Christian ways? No. But at the same time, like I was telling John the other day, I thank God every day. I don't ask him for anything anymore. I stopped.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that. Somebody was saying, and I believe it was, it could have been Charlie Kirk, it could have been somebody else
Mm-hmm.
doing their thing. I don't remember who, so I can't say. But they were saying, instead of asking for things, thank him. Thank him for the wonderful, beautiful house that we live in, for the people I have in my life, my son's girlfriend, my son, you know, friends at work, just everything that's around you, thank him for it. Because I've noticed something, everything is more positive for me by doing the whole saying thank you and things like that.
And I still, here's the thing, I still practice the way we're supposed to practice. The way I was taught. I was taught the least you do to your brothers and sisters, meaning everyone in the world.
I think our mic's saying,
Oh, is it?
yeah.
The least you do to your
My,
brothers. Oh, yours died?
my
Mine's still going.
the fart nougat. Oh well, they'll hear me on yours.
Um, we'll just go back and forth.
We'll just hear right in the middle. There
Okay.
we go.
That
Can you hear me?
the least you do to my brothers and sisters, you do unto me.
Mhm.
And to me, the least you do unto your brothers and sisters are the most vulnerable in our population.
Yep.
And if the way you treat them is how you would treat Jesus. It's what the parable of the sheep and the goats,
Yep.
where he separates his faithful and he
Sorry,
goes,
excuse me.
"You did not feed me when I needed food." Well, where were you? I was in the homeless man. Where were you? You did not clothe me when I needed clothes. Well, where were you? I was the homeless person. I
Yeah.
was the hungry child. It was That's something I think in my heart and soul. But it's going to get into a interesting thing. There is a group of Christians who believe that the rapture is going to happen September 23rd to September 24th.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing when she's done. Okay.
Because if I recall correctly, the Bible says, Jesus says, you'll never know when I come. You will never know the date nor the hour when I come.
And it does say that.
Apparently people have been having dreams and have prophesied that it's supposed to happen the 23rd, 24th. Another thing is, I guess in Texas, a rancher has been trying to breed a red heifer, and red heifers went extinct.
Okay.
Red heifers were important because in Jerusalem, in the temple, if you slaughter a red heifer, that was how you got rid of your sins, right?
Right.
Well, red heifers went extinct,
Yeah.
so nobody's been able to do it. In Revelations, it says when you sacrifice a red heifer, it's going to basically bring God and start the rapture. So people have been trying to breed a red heifer so they can trigger the rapture, and apparently somebody successfully bred a red heifer. And on September 23rd, they're going to sacrifice the red heifer in Jerusalem.
That's just wrong, man. I'm gonna come. Where are you at? I'm coming to get your cow. I'm gonna come get your cow.
And I'm sitting
Where
here
are
and
you
I'm
at?
learning all this information, and I was like, there's a whole group of people that have been trying to breed a specific cow to start the rapture.
You're not gonna. And why I'm laughing when she said this is because I was like, we're gonna be in our happy place.
Yeah, she's gonna be a Disney.
When it happens. Jeez.
I'm gonna be at work.
The not so happy place. But we just want.
Hey, it'll get me out of work.
True, it will. we just wanted to throw something out there, just because there's a lot of things going on right
There
now,
is.
and I know this might trigger some people because we were talking a little bit about religion. But hey, it's our podcast. You don't like it, don't listen.
Also, I just thought it was funny that there is a group of people. There are people who are literally meal prepping and like prepping food. So when they're raptured and the people who are stuck on Earth need food, they'll find the storage in their houses.
We have grocery stores. Thank you. We have grocery stores. Thank you.
Like they'll be like,
Thank you for the thought.
we have batteries and we have like wood stocked up, so if they need to build fires, and I'm like,
What are you doing?
what?
I mean, the
You're
rapture.
literally doomsday prepping because, and the thing to me is, and
And the
the
rapture.
reason I say I laugh is because you are never 100% certain if you are going to be raptured.
Mm-hmm.
For all we know, everyone who is saying that they're going to be raptured might not be the ones who are
And that may
raptured,
be stuck
and it might be everybody else gets raptured except them.
and they'll be like,
They're gonna have to use their own supplies. I'm sorry, I'm cracking a joke there because to me it's mind-boggling. I've never, and I studied religious cults. This screams cultish to me.
yes, it does.
And I hate to say that because I have never heard of a.
Hey, Marie.
Heard of a. The only times I have ever heard
Come up here, Mama.
of groups actually prepping for doomsday and the end times is with cults. And I just it's mind boggling to me. Yes, it is mind boggling. Apparently, churches are taking people who've recently passed away and using AI to recreate their voice to tell their parishioners everything is going to be okay and that God is coming soon. And I'm like, that to me that screams religious psychosis. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because we are potentially witnessing like something that might become a true crime thing in real time. Like who knows? Yeah. By the next time we do this podcast, something wild could have happened.
Hence our shirts.
We're just trying to keep you up to date on a potential true crime issue.
Like we will still do the other things, but if something major's happened that day of the day that we're supposed to do a different podcast, we'll throw in that on front and then do the podcast.
Yeah, just be like, hey yo, so the rapture thing, that was actually right. We're meeting to you after the rapture.
Yep. But I'm sorry, but I'm agreeing that the Lord is the only one that knows when things are going to take place and happen. Exactly. I don't believe anybody else that says that.
I mean,
because what did they say in 2000?
2012, the world was going to end, and everyone's like, okay.
And then we're all sitting here on our phones, like, oh hey,
it's 2013.
Well, we're still here.
Well, have you heard the thing that the world was supposed to end in 2012, but then we entered a different timeline? And so that's why everything's been seemingly going downhill since 2013. Jeez. Still running internet joke. Or my favorite, that the killing of Harambe is what triggered us to go into a very, very into the bad timeline.
And it reminds me of Loki.
I know.
You know, the whole series for Loki, where there's this timeline, here's this timeline, now we're gonna cross it. Yeah.
I just find it funny.
It's just
for those of you who know internet jokes, they know exactly what I'm talking about. But we're gonna let Michelle start talking about haunted Disney.
Yeah, Disney hauntings. So the stories that I have found, like I said, it is all it's Marie. Marie wants attention right now. So she's the baby. She's our oldest baby. That's kitty wise. Mamas. We love you. Mm-hmm. Say hi. She's like, God, no. Are you going to come up here? Be careful, please. Don't knock stuff off. Here. Wait, no, here. Go that way. Okay. Hi. You good? You play with that one? No, you good? Okay. She's like, I don't want that. Get it out of my face.
I've been hugged.
Get out of my face. Hi, baby. All right. So, again, some of these I believe are from Disney cast members that work there, have worked there, and their experience. I have to take my glasses off because I can't read it with my glasses on. So the first one, and again, this is from Haunted Orange County. That's where I got the story from. So the first one is called The Locker Ghost Girl. And this was submitted by David B. My guess he's probably, like I said, a cast member. It says in August of 2019, I saw something at Disneyland Resort that rattled me to my core. It was just it was just a subtle, creepy moment, but it stuck with me ever since. After Disney's D23 Expo in Anaheim, that we might have went to that. I don't know. My sister and I headed to the theme parks for a lunch. Since we had bags filled with merchandise from the expo, we rented a locker near the Disney California Adventure entrance. The parks were crowded that Saturday, and we saw several people wandering out of the nearby restroom, wiping the sweat from their foreheads. Because obviously, in August, it's still
Yeah,
pretty
pretty
warm.
hot.
So apparently, this again, I don't know if this is a cast member or just somebody that was there. The locker was small, wonderfully cool, and thankfully uncrowded. It was just us and a young girl with fair skin that I noticed out of the corner of my eye. She crouched against the far wall, digging out of the bottom row locker. As my sister and I chit chatted about our first ride, we kept our voices low as not to bother her. After a couple of minutes, I realized that the girl had been crouching for quite a while. Though I couldn't tell how old she was, I thought it was odd that she was alone for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to rudely look directly at her, so I kept track from the corner of my eye just to make sure that she was okay. The girl played with her long yellow skirt as if to dusting it off. I thought the pattern was out of place, either red polka dots or strawberries. It looked like something a person might wear on Dapper Day. And Disney does have Dapper Day, they have it every year. They'll have Dapper Day, they'll have Indiana Day. So they do have things like that, just throwing that out there. Suddenly, the girl turned around. I stopped keeping track of her and focused on my sister, who was stuffing her things into our locker. Still, I could sense the girl's eyes on us. I looked again from the side, hardly able to see her in my peripheral vision. She was standing now, staring at us. That would creep me out. If somebody's just freaking staring at me like that,
Mm-hmm.
no. I noticed her short, dirty blonde hair and the skirt's length as it cascaded to her ankles. She was taller and older than I expected, probably a young teenager. What is she doing? Why was she looking at us? It was just too weird, and I needed to know. I quickly crammed my bag into the corner locker and shut it. I could still see the girl watching us. All at once, I gave up my reservations and turned around. No one was there. The locker area was totally empty. There wasn't a thing that resembled a yellow dress or a girl with fair skin. For a moment, I stared at the emptiness with goosebumps racing down my arms. Are we going over to Disneyland? Asked my sister. She looked toward me and noticed my flustered face. What's wrong? Did you see that girl? I shook near the lockers. Yeah, I saw someone, my sister muttered. She had noticed the girl too, but I didn't have to explain. My sister was already staring at the empty row of lockers near us. I watched the color swiftly leave her face. No, no, no. I mean, kind of sounded like no. This would be a no T-shirt moment. I told my sister about the ghost I had seen at Disneyland before, and now she had seen one too. The moment was haunting and darkened the sunny afternoon. My sister reopened the locker and yanked out our things from it. With our arms full, we rushed towards Disneyland, gripping our bags and unable to shake the ghostly girl from our minds. So that was from David Bond.
I also
That was his little story.
I also wonder, because you know how sometimes
You can
objects
go
are
do the
haunted?
ice real quick. Yeah.
I wonder if it wasn't that Disney was haunted, but somebody had an item that was haunted and they had put it in the bottom locker. And so she was stuck in that area.
Maybe.
Especially because Disney is such an area where there's a whole bunch of people.
Sorry, I'm doing ice.
She's doing ice if you can't hear her. Sorry, if I am a little out of it, I'm a little tired. It's been a long day at work. So I hope you're ready for the Zodiac Killer, because that's the case after this. I have yet to start typing. I should. I can start doing investigation into that.
So now, there was another thing I wanted to throw out there because I've seen where people have talked about it, and I didn't find the story on it, but the Golden Horseshoe, which is right there when you go into Frontierland. When you make your left, it's right there. There have been stories of while people are eating, they hear a little girl up on stage, and she's running back and forth just laughing. And cast members have heard it. Uh, guests have heard it. There's nobody up there. And the thing is they don't do any shows anymore. They used to do a lot of like little shows, but they don't do the shows no more. But people are saying that they hear a little girl running back and forth up on the stage.
I also wonder. So, have you know the difference between intelligent hauntings and echo hauntings?
I've heard a lot about intelligent, but not echo.
So echo is basically when you feel a strong emotion or when you feel something happen, like something strong. And that could be happiness, that could be joy, that could be sadness, that could be something. It basically creates an echo that repeats. So if it's being heard at the same time, it could be just a little girl was having a really great time and it left an imprint. And that's why they always hear a little girl running on the stage because she had at one point run on the stage and she had left that echo.
Yeah.
And it's possible that the reason Disney might be haunted at certain points is because of that. Because people experience joy there. They experience something that they've never experienced before and it just leaves an impression.
Let me see if I can find the other one because there is stories that I found. So I told you Wonder Wisdom is the other one that I come across, right? This lady, I guess, had found some stories of things that have happened. And a lot of it is things that have happened on rides. So I was telling her a little bit ago, I was talking about, I think the lady's name is Barbara. She was on the Matterhorn. And this is like in the 80s or so, or before that, because it was when the gondolas were going through Matterhorn before they closed it up. Excuse me. And so everybody knows that the fire station is haunted because they always leave a light on up there, and that's for Walt in remembrance of him, right? There have been times that people say that they will combine the lights off. Somebody has to go up, turn it back on. And so that has happened to where they have had it to where they've seen the light go off. This one says, according to a Disney legend, soon after Uncle Walt's death, a woman from the maintenance crew was cleaning the apartment and noticed that the lamp was lit. So they had it to where it was off after he passed. And so she turned it off and left, only to see it lit again in the window. So now they've stopped turning it off. They have left it on in remembrance of him. And the lamp turned itself back on right in front of her when she went back up there to turn it on. And I was like, yeah, okay. I'd be like, all right, leaving it on, going down, I'm out. I'd be like, all right, not touching it. Nobody has ever turned it off because they leave it on because it's in remembrance of Walt Disney. You know, wow. To this day, they still have cast members reporting footsteps.
Willow butt.
Love you, cat, but we don't need Willow butt.
Come on.
So
I know you don't like it when we pick you up, but I'm gonna pick you
up. But cast members have reported footsteps and knocking coming from the fire station apartment as they go, especially in the evening and at night. Shops throughout the park. Many of the stores are supposedly haunted. The fourth floor stockroom of the Star Trader, which is the exit from Star Tours in Tomorrowland, has cold spots and a really creepy feeling. There are also stories that merchandise will be rearranged when nobody is there. So somebody's moving stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean to whack your face. So nobody is there, nobody is around, and so somebody is rearranging stuff.
You know what that sounds like? A workaholic ghost. Somebody who died was like, I'm gonna haunt my workplace.
I gotta do this.
What are they thinking? this does not work.
It don't work.
Doesn't make sense.
It don't go here.
Let me merchandise and show
You don't
how
put the
it's
droids
done.
next to a Chewie. And then at the Atmosphere, which is the hat booth between America Sings and Tomorrowland Autotopia, is also haunted, they say. Supposedly, the sewing machine they use to embroider names on the hats never gets warm, even after being used all day. And someone saw a face in it. That's what they heard. That it's haunted because the machine never gets warm with them always embroidering hats. You would think a machine being used all day long from opening to closing, it would get hot, and it doesn't get hot. And that somebody has seen a face in it. It could be a past person that has done it before, like embroidered hats. On Main Street, there have been sightings of a lady in white. She appears in and around the stores on Main Street and is dressed in clothing from the turn of the 20th century. Legends say that she died on the property in the early 1900s, but never moved on. I mean, you're in Disneyland. Why would you move on? You're in the happiest place. The monorail. 1966, a 19-year-old boy tried to sneak into Disneyland for grad night. Every June, Disney is open overnight for high school graduates, and they still do it to this day, except for recently. I think they are not. They stopped doing it, or some parks stopped doing it because of everything that was going on. They were being too rowdy.
Yeah. I hate to say it, I think COVID did mess with the younger generations a little bit.
So
I speak as somebody who was in college. Yeah. I was a sophomore in college when COVID hit, and I was doing online classes.
I hated online
No,
classes.
I was junior. I was a junior. Or was I a sophomore at the end of my sophomore? I was something. No, I think
she was a student.
I went to college for 5 years. That's why I get confused. Because I double majored and double minored. So 2 degrees behind my name. So I went for 5 years. So I get confused.
Yeah.
I think I was in my third year, and I didn't go back to school until my fifth year for the last set of classes.
Oh wow, sounds about right.
So imagine in high school and elementary, when they need like
they need the interaction, but they don't get it. So the kid's name is Thomas Cleveland. He jumped over the fence, snuck over the perimeter of the fence onto the monorail track.
Ooh.
A security guard saw him and tried to warn him to get down, as it's a very dangerous place. And everybody knows the monorail will make the noise. They'll honk when they're fixing to go to their next stop, and because the monorail takes you through the park. So you have downtown Disney that has a station, and you have in Tomorrowland by Autotopia, there's also a station to where you can get off. But it'll take you to each station. It doesn't matter, just like the train. The train has 1, 2, 3, 4 spots that it'll stop to let you off. So he decided to get up there. Unfortunately, he did not listen. He just ran away so he couldn't get in trouble. He should have. They say he should have listened because he was hit by the monorail and he was dragged about 30, 40 feet before the train finally stopped. And that thing can't stop on a dime.
Yeah, it takes time.
This person that did this, the Wonder Wisdom, says when they worked at Disneyland, I heard rumors that sometimes late at night, cast members driving the monorail would see a young man running along the monorail tracks at the back of the park in the spot where Thomas died. So he's living like in a loop from what happened.
Yeah.
It says 1 minute the figure was there, the next he was gone. Then they always say it's creepy. Yeah. Space Mountain. Guests and cast members have reported seeing. We're gonna learn why they call her this Disco Debbie.
Oh damn! Okay.
Disco Debbie. Debbie is a glowing green ghost inside the ride who is reported to be a cast member who died of an aneurysm behind the Space Mountain building. Dang. Well, that doesn't tell us why they call her Disco.
Probably because she's a giant green ghost.
I mean, maybe it was the clothing that she was wearing and the period time that the stuff that she was wearing, maybe, but okay. People have also reported seeing a man with reddish hair and a red face. He usually gets in the seat next to the single rider. By the time the ride ends, he's gone. Supposedly, this is the ghost of the man who died on the ride in the 70s. They call him Mr. One Way, And he also seen in
Can
the
you imagine being
cast,
a single writer sitting down and being like, "Hey, dude, this is gonna be a tough ride.
and then right
It's
when
gonna
you
be
get to
amazing." You get to out of the dark, right? And you pull up, and you're like, "Yo, bro, what the fuck?"
what happened? Where did he go? So he is known as Mr. One Way. He has also been seen by the cast members in the locker room in the Space Mountain building.
He's just
America,
trying to change it up.
yeah, he's going
What's he
places.
doing?
She doesn't know. America Sings. This is the big round rotating building at the east end of Tomorrowland. So where you have Star Tours and Pizza Planet and Space Mountain,
Mm-hmm.
that giant building that's right there, there used to be on the inside because they changed it up. Like I want to say it's like the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, like they have in Florida. It would spin to show
Mm-hmm.
you the different houses and what you like the futuristic homes and all that stuff. But
Oh,
it
isn't that?
originally called the Carousel of Progress. That's what it's called.
Isn't it also? Isn't it now? Is that the one where it's like a
It's
Star Wars
Marvel.
food?
It's yeah, it's Marvel. Yeah, and Marvel and Star Wars where you can privately meet Kylo Ren and Chewbacca inside there.
And then I think they have like now the Fantastic Four and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So it's over by that area, but it's that big old giant building next to Pizza Planet and the bathrooms. But it was known as the Carousel of Progress, showing predictions of products for the near and not so near future. It closed in the early 70s and reopened in the summer of 74 as America Sings, a show highlighting the musical history of the first 200 years of the United States. In 98, it changed again to innovate the Innovation Building. 2 weeks after the new attraction opened, a new ride operator, 18-year-old Deborah Stone, was killed when she was crushed between the wall and the moving audience section of the building and stationary stage. Ever since, cast members working the ride have reported hearing a voice tell them to be careful.
Oh, that's
So,
sweet.
yeah. Oh, this might be the one. All right, we're going to get to the Matterhorn. America Sings building is also said to be haunted by a ghost of a teenage boy who died in the speed tunnel section of the People Mover. So that kid was trying, I guess, okay, here it is. So the boy tried to jump from one car to another and was dragged along the track before the ride came to a stop.
Is there a people mover in Disneyland?
No, that's the one. This is the one that they're talking about. Is they don't do the so Walt Disney World in Florida still has the People Mover.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Disneyland does not have it anymore. They got rid of it because of this. Because the kid was trying to go from one car to the next, and it caught him and it drug him before they stopped it to get him, and he was dead. And I'm not doing these things to promote how dangerous Disney is because now they've come a long way since
Yeah, they
all of
have.
this has happened. They That's why you see a lot of refurbishments go down, and they go down so often and every year because they want to make sure that everything is safe. They want to make sure everything is good that you're going to get
And
on
that's
it.
like Haunted Mansion. The what reason it's like, please stay away from the walls.
Yes, because you don't want to get crushed by it. Um, all right, the Matterhorn. And this happened when I was 4 years old. Excuse me. Okay. In 1984, Dolly Young was riding on the Matterhorn. On the Tomorrow side, there's like 2 tracks. So you got one that might go faster than the
Mm-hmm.
other. Usually everybody's like, oh, do the fast one. I love the Matterhorn because it's a backcracker. I don't need to go to the chiropractor. Just get on that ride. She found that out. She was in the very back of the ride. And she hurt her back pop. I'm like, see, I told you. No chiropractor needed. You already
The
paid the
front
money.
of the Matterhorn is also really fun.
Yes. Thank you, Willow. Oh, thank you.
Oh, she being a distinguished lady.
She is. You're not going to put your butt near her. I appreciate that. So does everybody else. So Dolly was alone in the back seat, and a child was alone in the front seat. In the middle of the ride, Dolly unbuckled herself, supposedly to assist the child in the seat in front of her. She stood up just before the dip, where the other track crosses over the track she was riding on. She hit her head on the bridge and fell onto the track. When the next sled came along, it ran her over. Yep. The story is that they had to dismantle the track to dislodge her body.
Jeez.
Yeah. And not only that, so remember how I told you, I'll show you the picture. So back in the day, they used to have gondolas. Remember how I was telling you they go through the mountain, right? Okay, so for those who don't know, this is what I was talking of. Those are the gondolas going into Matterhorn. Okay. The people that were crossing at that moment that that happened were screaming. They started screaming because where I guess they went over, they saw her body. And they said that the person screamed so loud that a cast member heard and heard that person screaming. So Dolly now haunts the Matterhorn. Some people say that they have seen Dolly. I worked on that ride for several years and I never saw her, but I sure did feel her. After the ride closes for the day, two people have to walk the track, one on each side of the mountain. You walk the ride starting at the bottom, working your way to the top. And mind you, at the very top of the Matterhorn is a basketball court where all past cast members have signed their names. Um, it is done to look for lost and found items. Every time I was unlucky enough to get a track walking shift. She's like so disappointed she didn't get a track walking
Well, because
shift.
can you imagine the stairs? How
Yeah.
tall is Matterhorn?
It's pretty tall.
I too would be like, Deo.
Is that I had an uneasy feeling like someone was watching me. Was always convinced that it was Dolly. So I would often say, "Hi, Dolly," tell her hello, whatnot. The feeling was always the worst in the big cavern in the middle of the ride at Dolly's Dip, the spot where she died. In fact, the work lights in the tunnel near Dolly's Dip always seemed to be burned out. Yeah. In 6 years, I don't think I ever saw those lights working. I hated running the track at the end. What are you doing? Oh.
The way she's staring into the camera.
Are you looking at yourself? What's yourself, Willow? Um,
Hey.
oh. Cat's in trouble. It's all right, Willow. You're fine.
Leave him alone.
I hated running the track at the end of my shift. I usually tried to get someone else to do it for me because it would hit the dip where Dolly died, so it was like uneasy. Oh, here comes my not so favorite ride. Don't sing it. I will tape your mouth. I don't even like it playing in my ear, okay? Now it's a small world. Shut up. Just for that on this video, since I use CapCut, I'm going to put this song in it just to annoy everybody. The story is that several cast members who worked on It's a Small World loved the ride so much, not me, that they came back to reside there after they died. The
I
legend
will
is
say, It's a Small World is nice when it's hot outside.
that is true because it is very cold
Cool.
inside. The legend is that the lights turn off and on, and that the dolls will keep on dancing and singing after hours when the electricity has been turned off.
Oh, God.
There is a book, I have mentioned this before, that I am reading, The Kingdom Keepers, and I think it's book number 5 or 6. I'm almost done with it because I kind of leave it and come back. There was one of the earlier books that the kids went on to It's a Small World. I'm like, if these freaking dolls come off in this book, I'm done. No joke. All of a sudden, the next few lines I read is the kids are in a panic because all the dolls start coming off of their pedestals. I don't like that right anymore. I no. So now when I write it, I'm looking at the dolls like you best not come up off of that because I will be one white woman. I don't care if I get in trouble, get kicked out. I don't like that. So
I will say, we were at Disneyland recently, and Justin was like, "You want to go in your favorite bag?" And I looked at him and go, "Yeah, it's cool."
it is a cool ride. I love it when they do it for Christmas because there's over 55,000 lights on that whole entire ride. Yeah. But
They
and
deck it out for Christmas?
oh, they deck it out for Christmas. Watch one
Damn.
of my previous videos because I put one on there of I did it for it was like a short, and people were asking me why I love. They're like, why do you like Disney so much? I'm like, it's not that I like Disney. I love Disney. Disney brings me a happiness. It's a home away from home. It's right when I walk into the sign, everything just disappears. And I did like a little short, and I turned my camera around.
Those are
And you got something to say, ma'am? Anything to say for the camera? Are you happy to be here? Okay. Hi. Good. No. Nope. Nope. Nope.
no
Sit
willow
down.
butt.
No Willow. Come on. Come on. Willow
Willow
butt.
butt.
No. We're sorry.
Are
We're
you
sorry.
getting shy about showing
So
your butt?
this person said they worked on it for 6 years, and it was the very first ride they learned way back in 1989. They remember having fun on breaks, walking through the ride. I walked behind the sets, under the sets, even through the through the wall in the middle of the attraction. Yep, there's a door that goes from the Antarctic region at the beginning of the ride to the finale scene at the end. It was a bit creepy in the darker portions, but not bad. So that's the ride that I heard about somebody, they hung themselves on that ride. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've heard. The next one is everybody's favorite, Haunted Mansion. We all know that there's 999 ghosts. And as he asks you, would you like to join? And I usually raise my hand because I like the Haunted Mansion. It's awesome. Every time we go, I will literally recite the whole thing that he says in the elevator.
I will say,
And John will do the high pitched scream.
if you
Bye-bye.
want to ride Haunted Mansion, especially during Halloween season,
Yes.
fast pass it. Wait times for Haunted Mansion when we were there, and we were there during the slow periods,
It's going up, yeah.
was like 50 minutes.
And every year they change out the decoration on the table. It's a gingerbread house, but every year it's a different one that
Yeah,
they do.
we fast passed it like multiple times.
Turn around, sit down. What are you doing?
Because we got the tickets at Costco.
Here.
So we got the steel tickets.
Okay, go on. So there are several ghosts that haunt the Haunted Mansion. The first ghost story happened when the mansion was still being built back in the 60s. One of the sound designers was in the seance room and heard music coming from behind a wall. He thought it was a radio, but there was never any talking or commercials, just music. Now, mind you, this is the very last ride that Wall did not get to see this being finished, I don't believe. I can't remember what I said in the Disneyland thing.
I don't think he did either.
I think he passed before it was completed. He wanted to do a scary ride, but then the two people that were collaborating were like, well, we should do this and we should do this. But they came together on making it to where it's still fun for kids, but I wouldn't take anybody under the age of 5 on it if they really get creeped out by things.
I saw babies in that ride line,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's a little suspicious.
So it's like some kids might handle it better than others, but just saying, that's one that Walt was not able to see.
I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, how is a baby not going to cry when like the Hat Man's ghost head is moving in the thing?
Well, not only that, the plants and stuff that they have in it too. Well, now that they have Jack Skellington, they replaced Jack Skellington with the Hatbox Ghost. So, like when you're coming backwards on the ride and you lean backwards, if you look to your left, it was an old man and a dog. But then, since it's Jack Skellington, they usually put him right where the Hatbox Ghost and the old man and the dog was. We didn't.
But no, they left in. They leave the Hat Man ghost in one of the things right when you start turning around.
Yeah.
The Hat Man's ghost is there, and his face moves from the spot.
So cool. And if you want to know the history of the Hatbox Ghost, watch the second Haunted Mansion. You learn so much. I was so excited because John told me about it. I love the first one with Eddie Murphy because it's funny. Okay. And what happens with him. But then when they said they were coming out with a part 2, like a second one, I was like, no. And I'm like, it'd be cool if it was about the Hatbox Ghost. And then come to find out it was. And I was so excited. It's very good. I highly recommend it for the spooky season. So if you want to watch the first one, then watch the second one. You'll learn a lot about the Hatbox Ghost.
And it's not like your typical Disney movie. It is a very well done, just regular movie.
Yes, it's great. It goes into depth. It goes into history of what happened to him and
what
made him be the way he was.
It also goes into depth, like human emotion too. I'm like,
yeah,
damn, you well rounded, Disney.
Disney is good about getting our emotions. Every single movie. I can't watch. There are certain movies that I cannot like. Watching Bing Bong with Joy, I cry every time. Endgame, don't judge me. I'm a huge fan of Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man. Not to mention that he's hot, but still, that was wrong. That was an unexpected thing in the theater. I was not expecting that, and I still can't watch it to this day. I've tried, and I cry every time because he's a good character. He was so good.
I will say the Scarlet Witch, the Scarlet Witch movie, that the Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch in it. I watched it in theaters on day of release.
Yeah.
And so when she came out of the mirror, I audibly gasped. I was like, and the dude next to me was like, because it was packed. It was shoulder to shoulder. I was by myself. I had no idea who the two dudes were beside me, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
When
Spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert. When she goes, "What mouth?" I went, "Oh my god!"
Scarlet Witch is a badass.
The
I give
dude
you that.
next to me goes, "This is a this is this is a horror film."
I mean, Disney. Let me tell you, Disney can go dark.
It can.
They can.
I can.
I mean,
He turned into spaghetti. She turned him into spaghetti.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
That was
when I seen him go blue, and I was like, "The hell did she just do?" Okay, then. Yeah,
just the what mouth. The what mouth. I was like, oh my. When she came out of the woodwork and snapped Charles Xavier's neck, I was like,
she's on a mission.
what?
I know that was very good because I did see that one, the multi-universe one, right?
And I love the creativity when making that film. Mm-hmm. The director's idea of making her face, giving her two faces, the face where she's begging for help, mm-hmm. and then the face of the Scarlet Witch, which is a monstrous form.
Yep.
And the monstrous form just coming out of the woodwork and just snap. I was like, oh my god.
Ooh, here's something exciting. So besides the guy hearing the music, and there was like no talking or commercials, just music, he kept hearing the music for days. Finally, he decided to just put a speaker near the spot the music was coming from to mask it. When this person who did this, when they worked for Disney, I heard a rumor that the spell book in the seance room is a real spell book. And that Madame Leota was reciting a spell from that book. Now, mind you, there are two different types of Madame Leotas. So the girl that's in it now replaced her mom. So she looks just like her mother. So the girl that is now in Madame Leota and does the ball and everything, that's her that's the daughter of the mom who originally did it. Okay. So, and that's really cool to be able to step in your mom's shoes and to be able to follow in her footsteps and do something like that. Rumor had it that each morning when cast members would arrive at the attraction to open the ride, they would find the book in a different place than it was the previous night. There's also a story about a woman who came to the Haunted Mansion to sprinkle her young son's ashes in the ride since his dying wish was to be one of the Haunted Mansion ghosts. Oh, okay, that's cute, but don't put anybody's ashes in the rides.
Don't do that, please.
That will get you banned and kicked out. She was told she couldn't spread the ashes there, but apparently she snuck back and scattered her son's ashes anyways. After that, people reported seeing the ghost of a small boy crying near the exit. I guess he didn't want to be a Haunted Mansion ghost after all.
Oh,
poor kid. Doom buggies. Oh wait, no, not that one. Oh, yay! Here's my favorite. I like this one. We always get on this one first. So there's
except the time we went, and that was when we rope dropped. We went to Indiana first because we didn't want to wait in the line.
Exactly. So Pirates of the Caribbean, all-time favorite ride. Love it. It's another dark ride. It's nice on a hot day because it's cold and it's just so relaxing until you get up to the house with the dude with the banjo, and he's a little creepy. Supposedly there is a boy ghost who is seen in the video monitors on this ride. He could be seen in the control tower, caught on surveillance cameras. He always seems to be happy and enjoying himself. You're at the happiest place on earth.
Yeah.
Where are you going to enjoy yourself? But when the boat comes back into the station, it's always empty. So he rides the ride and they see him, but when he comes back, they're like, well, where in the heck did he go? It's also been said that Walt Disney's ghost and a couple of other ghosts sometimes haunt the Disney gallery above Pirates as well. I could see Walt's ghost because that's the man that built this. This is the man that made this happen for us to enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't wait to go to Walt Disney World because they have a statue of Walt just sitting like, can't do my hands, but kind of sitting like this and smiling. Because I told John I want to get a picture of me just sitting next to the man who made this all happen. And in December, I will talk more about Walt too, about him growing up and all that fun stuff. And it'll correlate with Disneyland as well. So it's going to kind of cross over a little bit. So the gallery was originally designed to be Walt's personal apartment. as the one above Main Street Fire State, but it was kind of small, so they
Mm-hmm.
couldn't do it. If you go into Walt's um, apartment, which I don't know if you can go up
I
there
don't think you
anymore. I
can.
don't think you can anymore. They used to have tours where you can, but um, he has a train going around the room because he had a love for trains. So little tidbit of um, pirates. Did you know that he used to use real bones?
Well, that's how you get ghosts. I'm just gonna be honest. Well, that's how you get ghosts.
So they removed a lot of the bones. They were actual skeletons, no joke, actual skeletons. And again, I will get more into that when I talk about him in December because that's when his birthday is and his passing. But when you're riding along, you remember when it comes to the room with all the loot, or as they call it, the booty,
Mm-hmm.
and there's that bed, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
skull above the in the middle of the bed.
Mm-hmm.
That's an actual skull, by the way. They never took it down. So that is an actual that is an actual skull, by
Well,
the
that's how
way.
you get ghosts.
Yeah. So just a little info on the different things. A few more of these stories. Some of them are short. I'll try to get through them. This next one is we already did that. And the Walker Ghost was pretty long. New Orleans and Toontown Encounters. This one was submitted by a gentleman named Mike. He worked custodial from 2002 to 2004. Had some bizarre things happen to me. One night in New Orleans, I was emptying the trash from the exit of Haunted Mansion, right where the escalator ramp takes you up. I came the back way down the employee stairs and saw an elderly woman in an antique-looking wheelchair sitting in the sitting in the hallway. I thought nothing of it and opened the door to where the trash can was. As I held the door open with my foot tying the trash bag, I thought to myself, what was that guest doing in an employee only hallway? The park has been closed for a while. When I turned back into the hallway, not even 5 seconds later, the lady was gone. She just vanished. I was kind of creeped out, but shrugged it off and went about my business. As the night went on, I could not stop thinking about the woman in the wheelchair. It wasn't the rental wheelchairs. This looked like one that was made of wood. So those really old 1900 probably
Mm-hmm.
type wheelchairs. I finished my shift and forgot about it. I used to hear tons of stories from coworkers about certain areas being haunted, so I would always wander around the park exploring. Do what I would do. Go explore and see what you can find. Disney is creepy when it is empty, so I could see why people would have stories of being watched or having strange feelings. I remember sweeping the line for Roger Rabbit one night, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man standing near me in a navy blue T-shirt and black Dickie style shorts. I asked if he needed anything, and when I looked up, he was gone. I walked pretty fast all the way through the line looking for him, and nobody was there. Nobody was in there because Toontown was closed. It seemed like everyone had a haunted mansion, haunted bathroom. Uh, like everyone had, hold on. It seemed like everyone had a haunted mansion, haunted bathroom, Tom Sawyer or Toontown story, so I kept the strange things that happened to me to myself. I felt like nobody would believe me anyways. A few months later, I was talking with the woman that had worked there for a long time. Someone had committed suicide in the parking structure that summer. So we were talking about the deaths in the parks. And there was a lady, side note, talking about a suicide that went and parked in the parking garage, like on the top main level, and she jumped.
Oh.
She did jump to her death. So that I did see a little thing on. I didn't go into like looking, but yeah, I read that too, that there was a lady who did jump to her death. So they have had suicide happen at the park. Um, and possibilities of supernatural. She told me a story about sleeping inside the haunted mansion at the bottom of the elevators after the park closed and seeing an elderly woman in a wheelchair. So the same woman, when she looked up to speak to her, the room was empty. I thought to myself, no way, how familiar. I didn't tell her what happened to me, but I had a lump in my throat and felt pretty creeped out for a long time. I was always curious about spirits and the supernatural, but wasn't sure I believed in that kind of stuff. I'm still not sure I believe in that stuff, but I cannot explain who those people were and where they came from. And that was the one from Mike. The next one is the men's room basement ghost. This one's pretty short too. This one is submitted by Annabelle K. So I worked in the third shift custodial. Everyone jokes around about the park being haunted. See, now I would want to work at Disney in custodial, and I'd want to I'd want to work the third shift because I want to be one of those people who'll be like to to see fill it out and see if it is haunted. You know, that'd be I'm sorry, that'd be kind of fun for me. When I'm working at Disney too, hey, dude, it's haunted. This is pretty cool. Just to get that experience. Um, got the jokes about it being haunted, especially for new people. I was in my first year as a third shift custodial. I had already heard all sorts of ghost stories from other cast members. So I was afraid to work alone anywhere in the park. At this point, I hadn't had anything happen to me till this night. I'll never forget it. So I was working in Toontown and I was assigned to work in Mickey's basement, which is below Mickey's house. And so if you ever go through Mickey's house, you're going through the thing to go meet with him. That's where they're taking you. So it's in the basement of his home. There is a set of bathrooms, a break room, and a small gym. A gym under Mickey's house? What? Okay. We'll get into that another time. That's weird. I started off by cleaning the men's bathroom, then went over to the women's. As I was in the women's bathroom, I started to hear something moving around. I wasn't sure what it was. I ignored it and continued to work. Then I started to sweep the gym, and again I heard something moving around. My nose. This time I heard it coming from the men's bathroom. So I shouted, "Hello? Anyone in the men's bathroom?" No response. So I took and looked in the men's bathroom and nothing. No one was in there, so I continued to work. As I'm in the break room, I hear it again, something moving around in the men's bathroom. I go to look again, and the trash can was in the middle of the bathroom. I just thought maybe I didn't move it back when I was cleaning, so I moved it back to the side. I go back to cleaning the break room. Then I started to sweep and mop all the floors. As soon as I started to mop, there it goes again. Movement in the men's bathroom. I go to look and the trash can was moved again. This time, it was at the opposite end of the room. That's when I started to get scared. I moved it back and was trying to rush out of there. I had already finished the bathrooms and the gym. When I was halfway done in the break room, I hear the trash can move again. This time I ignored it and moved as fast as I can. At this point, I'm scared. I don't even want to be down there. I'm thinking in my head, if there's something down here, it can't hurt me. I just need to hurry. I'm almost done. And that's when I hear right off of my shoulder, "Get out." That just gave me goosebumps. In the creepiest voice, she heard, "Get out." I kind of froze. I could feel my hair standing straight up. I grabbed all of my stuff and I ran out of there. I didn't finish mopping. I was just so scared I didn't want to finish. I just ran out of there. And rightfully so. Your first day on being on the overnight crew and they go do Mickey's basement in the men's bathroom. That would creep you out. And then somebody off of your left shoulder coming up to you saying, "Get out."
Yeah, that's creepy.
Till this day, I won't step foot down there alone. After that, I heard other stories from other cast members who have experienced down there. And every story had something to do with the men's bathroom. From hearing things and seeing shadow figures, I have I had other experiences in the park, but this one was the scariest. Oh man, Tiki Terror. I like the Tiki Room. I know. This one is submitted by Louisa G. This is her husband's story, not hers. He's a cast member, works at, oh my gosh, how do you say that? Terrace. Okay. And he has been telling me that they have a very active poltergeist at the new outside bar. People have been hearing voices, things flying off of shelves, Downstairs in the pantry, footsteps have been heard. And most recently for him, he saw a metal container float 4 feet up in the air and then drop. It was a nice metal cup within a cup. The ghost has become more active since the terrace has been remodeled. It's not a harmful spirit, it's their friendly ghost. Not if it's throwing anything off the shelves. Not.
It could be just I want attention. It could be like a child throwing a tantrum because it wants attention.
Or if it likes the bar so much, it wants his damn Dole Whip. Give him his Dole Whip.
Give him a little off on the Dole Whip.
Give him some Dole Whip. A little alcohol in it, because they make that. Watch her. Okay, we're getting to that one. She's got. There's a story on here she wants to hear about. It's a very short one, but we'll get to that one. So, well, let me do that one because she wants to hear that one. This one's called Watchers, submitted by Stacy B. I have a gift, and on occasion, whenever I enter the park, I am not caught up in the thrill of just being in Disneyland. I can sense the presence of unseen beings in the various sections of the park, like, for instance, the Haunted Mansion. Every now and then, I get the feeling of a being observing me. It is an intense feeling, as well as the strong sense along Main Street that all is not as it seems in this happy place, an underlining sense of foreboding and distress.
That is.
That's because now I'm like baffled by that. It's like, dang, I don't say I have a gift, but I'm like what they call an empath. I could pick up on people's feelings. Like if somebody's having a bad day or somebody's like angry, like coworkers, I pick up on it because then I become angry. So I try to stay away from the angry folks at work. No offense to you all. You're crabby, stay away from me. I don't need it to bring me down. So that's and going into Disney as much as we've gone, I haven't had that sense of something
I'm
like
gonna
that.
be honest. I did kind of get that when we were
Like on It's a Small World, it does creep me out.
I've had when we were walking to the nurse. So last time I went to Disney recently, um, I'm not supposed to be in the sun, and we were in the sun, and we were in the heat, and it kind of made it all worse. My face kind of swole up. It was swollen. And I went to the nurse's station and asked for Benadryl because I was like, I did not know why it was swelling, so I asked for some Benadryl to help with the swelling. And when we were walking to the back corner, I was like, I feel so, and it wasn't like I feel like so weird. I was like, this area just feels so weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'm just overthinking it because I'm going to a different place. But I was like, this is like it just was a weird feeling.
Yeah. So the next one is Soarin' Spirits over California. This is really, I like this one too. Don't ruin it for me. This was submitted by Andy A. I used to work for the resort back in 2014 when it was called Soarin' over California. There are two theaters, Theater A, Theater B. And if anybody's been on the ride, obviously you see that because there's like a little chain link fence there. B side was supposed to be the Haunted Theater. That's the theater that oddly breaks down most of the time. The story behind it was the California Adventure used to be a parking lot, and it was before it got built. Trams used to take people from their cars to the entrances. Well, one day when the trams were going by, a little girl happened to walk in the middle of the street and got hit by one of the trams. As your flight takes off, there's a cast member always in the theater watching to make sure the guests are okay and the ride is operating properly. I was the lucky one this time and was working in that position. Below the screen is a basement, and no one is allowed down there during the duration of the flight. While in flight, I was watching the monitors, and all of a sudden, I hear footsteps, either going up or down the stairs from the basement. I turned around, and no one was there. I turned back around, nervously waiting for the flight to end. At the moment, I felt like I was being watched from behind. The hairs on my arms stood up. After that day, I always had someone trade me their position. Pretty creepy. So I mean, it could be that little girl up and down in the basement. And when we first got on Soren, I have a fear of heights. Okay, but I love roller coasters. Can't explain it. Not going to get into it. Doesn't make any sense. But with Soren, it freaked me out because and I know it's a screen. You're not that far off the floor. I get it. I've actually gotten to the point where I would close my eyes when they were going like over the mountain. Remember like Everest
Mm-hmm.
in that screen, and then it like the huge drop. I would like literally take a breath in and gasp and grip either John's hand or my bar or something. And then I've gotten to the point where now I keep my eyes open so I can see it all. And now it doesn't bother me as much because I'm trying to get over that. But it's not that far off the floor, you know. And I always thought that, good God, knock on wood, I hope nobody's ever fallen out from the seat because it's three different rows of
Mm-hmm.
seats, you know. And usually I like getting the very back one because we've gotten the middle one and the top one, but that's so sad that I mean that maybe what he's hearing is the little girl. The next one is Spirit Children, submitted by Tim R. I used to work the swing shift at the stroller shop. One night I was clearing Fantasyland strollers just past 1 a.m. A coworker and I were between the carousel and Dumbo when we heard children laughing. We decided to find security to let them know that there were still guests in the park. As we started walking towards Matterhorn, Dumbo turned on, music and all. Okay. Since we just had finished collecting strollers from the Casey Jones and Dumbo queue, we knew there weren't any attraction cast members operating the ride. Makes me want to ride that even more. Wow. Playful children after closing. And a lot of these are short. They're becoming shorter. I think we have one, two, three, four, so six, but the last one's a pretty long one here. So Playful Children After Closing, submitted by Naomi B. I used to work as an artist there for about 5 years. First week there, I was spooked by the sound of kids playing in the halls of the storage area, New Orleans by the courtyard staircase, after closing hours. It took me a while. It took me a while that to put together that there that we were closed, and there shouldn't have been. What her words are kind of messing my brain up right at the moment. Hold on. It took me a while. Oh, I think she meant to put together that we were closed and that there shouldn't have been any little kids there. Also, closing in front of the Pirates of the Caribbean exit, I got messed with, and my niece saw the same ghost guy by the cast member eating area storage. I don't know what the heck she's saying. Disney is definitely the most haunted place I've ever been. Cast member eating area storage. Maybe meeting that they seen the cat. Okay, by the cast member eating area storage. Okay, my brain. The Phantom Chef, submitted by Dina M. I remember coming across a chef slash cook in our break room storage area. At this time, they were doing some construction in our break room. While I was on my lunch break, I was alone in the lunchroom minding my own business, eating lunch. Of course, cast members come and go to walk backstage as needed. Well, at this time, he did come from backstage, where some chefs or cooks come by to walk on stage to get back to work. Now, like I said, at this time there was construction going on. From what I remember, he looked at me, smiled, and went on his way. At this time, I just acknowledged him and smiled back. Nothing came to mind that this man was a ghostly friend. When I got home, I noticed that I didn't hear the steps going out on stage or hear the elevator go up. Our break room was small enough I hear anyone come in or out of this break room. One day everything clicked when my aunt and I were talking about it, and that's when I realized that I saw a ghost. So it took her a few minutes thinking, oh, he's just a regular cast member.
Joe Blow.
Yep. A token of remembrance. This was submitted by Don B. There was a woman in queue for the Haunted Mansion, and she seemed sad. The attraction greeter at the foyer asked her why she was sad. She shared a story of her teenage son who had been diagnosed with cancer. She promised him that they would come to Disneyland together when he got better. He unfortunately never did and passed away. He was carrying with her a photo of the two of them together and showed it to the cast member. He asked her if he could have the photo and he would place it in the ballroom and they could be at Disneyland together forever. The photo used to be under the second plate from the left on the table. Yes, I've actually seen the photo. It has since been removed to behind the small satay under the stairs. I'm gonna have to look because I'm not sure what they're talking about there.
Wait, isn't there a thing where you like go downstairs or something like that?
For Haunted Mansion, so you come off the elevator, you get on the moving escalator in the doom buggy, and then
Is there something where you like go up or you go down and there's photos off to the side?
no, because I know when you're getting off of the ride, you're standing on the moving escalator going out.
No, I'm talking like during the actual ride. Like, what if they made it a photo on the side?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look the small. I'm gonna have to look that up. So remind me to look that up later. Behind the small satay under the stairs, and it's Settee.
Hmm.
Under the stairs. Okay, and maybe it's hidden under there or something, so you can't see it. But I mean, that's pretty
Maybe to
cool.
prevent it from getting damaged.
Yeah, could be. Ghostly guests. This is submitted by Jacqueline S. Once my mom and I endeavored to ride by ourselves the Haunted Mansion on the last ride of the night. We got in just as they closed the gates at midnight and waited a minute in the gallery to let all the other guests board first. Once some spaces passed, we got in our doom buggy for our solo midnight ride, but as we rounded Madame Leota's room, we were shocked and disappointed. We looked across the room and full saw a full doom buggies. Wait, we looked across the room and saw full doom buggies. Men, women, and children. We figured they opened up the gates to let more large groups on. Oh well, when we got to the end of, into this part to disembark, there was no cast member present, so we decided to linger in the mausoleum before ascending to the world of the living. And what did we see? Nothing but empty doom buggies. There was nobody in those doom buggies. No people at all. We waited and waited. No one was there. True story. So them saying that they've seen all these women and children and men on the doom buggies and then go to the end and they were literally the only ones that were on it the whole time. Wow. A pirate pistol whip.
Hmm.
This one is submitted by a DR. Pirates of the Caribbean ride. This is very short. We sat on the last row of the boat, so no one was behind us. I sat on the left side of the boat right when we are approaching the battle of the ships. I got bumped on the side of my head. No one was behind me. It came from behind. I wasn't in the middle, so it wasn't the people sitting next to me that bumped me. I was recording on my phone, and upon review, I noticed a dark shadow come into view for just a few seconds when I got the bump on the head.
Damn.
So he got pistol whipped. Oh, jeez. What did you say? What did you say to the pirates? So these are comments from various haunted Disneyland posts. Sammy R. It was always really haunted to go backstage here. I rarely ever went because I always felt like someone was following me or watching me. Don B. The stock room of the Star Trader that shares a wall with a section of the track is also haunted. Cast members avoid going there alone and feel like they are being pushed down the stairs leading up to it. There is also a spirit of a child that haunts the area around the Splash Mountain drop. He likes to peek over the counter at the cast member who closes the Briar Patch merchandise location there. Mind you, Briar Patch, so that was before they changed it into Tiana's. Susan S. I had two friends that worked the canoe ride, and they both said they had ghostly experiences of someone touching them or seeing something out of the water but there was nothing there. I don't want to do the canoe ride. That's a little greedy. I don't want to do that now. Nope, we ain't doing it. John, we're not doing it. No, I'm okay with that.
Seeing stuff in the water? No, thank
No,
you.
thank you. I just want to see the ducks. That's all I want to see. No, no, that one's creepy. Thank you, Susan. I'm gonna have nightmares. So this is from Lori W. Star Traders stockrooms are also haunted. I've always felt being watched and hearing kids laughing, voices laughing. I remember going up to the fourth level stockroom, getting flush and hearing children's voices.
Getting flushed, I think she was trying to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she wrote flush. Lisa K. Back in the day, cast members would have a locker in a locker room to keep. Really? They have a locker. Sorry. Do that. In their locker to keep their belongings during their shift. It would also be a place to change out of street clothes and into a costume. The locker was inside Space Mountain, and on a few occasions, I had been in there all alone and hear someone say something, and then a door that went to the ride would open and close. A bit creepy late at night. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. Sarah W. OMG. That's how she did it. I'm doing the face, is what she puts. OMG. My locker was in Space Mountain too, and yes, it was not uncommon to hear voices and doors opening and shutting. You would look to see if another cast member was around, but the place would be empty.
Damn.
Yeah. Deanne D. I worked on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I was walking the track after closing, and just around the bend from the first, I just thought Pocahontas in my favorite when I said that. River Bend. Sorry. Okay, we're going to keep going. I saw a shadow on the mountain wall walking along with me. It was not my shadow. The shadow figure had on a baseball cap. I did not wear my costume hat when doing a track walk. I saw this figure on several occasions when I closed. Yes, I talked to him every time. Maybe he's just helping her along with the ride.
Finishing up a walkthrough, keeping her busy.
Yep. This one is done by Cheryl B. I was working alone to restock Five and Dime, the merchandise store in Toontown. Toontown had closed for the night, and all the other cast members had left. While restocking shirts, a mug fell off of the shelf on the other side of the store, and no one else was in the store but me. I was a good 20 feet away. The shelf was super sturdy and heavy wood attached to the wall. On the mug. Pamela B. When I worked third shift, I was cleaning the castle and got pushed plenty of times while on the stairs. The lady who haunts it says it's her castle and she wants people out. Well, that's not how we do things. Saying. Okay. That's a new one. No, I've never heard about people being pushed
On the stairs.
on the stairs because that's the. And going into that castle, if you've ever walked through it, I don't know if you guys walked through it, but it's the stairs are pretty.
Yeah.
They're compact, so it don't hurt if you get pushed down them. This is by Vico V. I worked at the Haunted Mansion, and a couple of times at night, I would be at the boarding area all alone. I would hear people chatting and laughing faintly as if they were coming from the elevator. So I'd step up and be ready to do my lines, but nobody showed up.
Damn.
Oh, look, your mic died.
Oh no.
Yeah, hopefully it's still recording and you can hear us. Deanna N. There's a story of the little two girls that died and frequently haunt the walkway. Fantasyland to Frontierland. You can hear them laughing on the island too. They apparently died in a flood in the early 1900s. Before Anaheim became Disney, there was a really bad flood. Supposedly, they were the farmers' children. Another Cheryl B. I've worked as a merchandising stock cast member at Star Trader. The fourth floor is indeed creepy. Even before I was told it was haunted, I always felt uneasy up there. In the early 90s, a cast member named Maria came flying down the stairs after the sock boxes started to pull out by themselves. Okay. Okay. Y'all want socks? I mean, Ghost will help you find some if you need some. But that's pretty much what I could find as far as Disney being haunted. If you guys want to see, like, there's little things on here. Well, this looks like it's probably like on TikTok. You can go on YouTube and you can find like videos of seeing hauntings and the haunt, what's haunted. Like, there's one right here.
On the Zodiac Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And it is also going to be, I am also working that Monday. No, I'm off that Monday.
Yeah.
I am off that Monday, but I will not be on Tuesday. I will have off Saturday, so it's going to be a
Saturday.
I'm already getting exhausted.
We have inventory coming up.
We have inventory coming up, and for those of you who have never worked retail at a Walmart, inventory can get pretty detail oriented, and we're
Very
a little
stressful.
bit we're in a good spot, like when it comes to like how things are cleaned, but we have not started the prep. We haven't started the labeling. We haven't started the counting. We haven't started the deep zones. So that week we are going to be a little. I'm going to be a little bit tired because I am going to be working late hours, long hours.
And I won't be back to work until next Friday.
And she'll probably, as soon as we get in, we'll be working an extra
shift. Yeah. So we may be working overtime because of inventory and whatnot.
So
but then we'll go back to our days off and everything. So we'll go back to.
So just a heads up, the Monday that we work, I might be a little bit more tongue-tied than normal.
Yeah.
And a little bit more crazy than normal.
Yep. So we will see everybody in a week. I would say.
In a week.
And then talking about the Zodiac Killer, I'm kind of excited for this one because I want to hear about it.
Yes, it is. It is a long one because I'm trying to go into details about the victims too. Because again, with the Zodiac Killer, because he was never caught, he's kind of sensationalized, and I would like to talk about the victims a little more.
And then not only that, I think after that we had Edgar Allan Poe is sometime in October, but I forgot. I think he's like the second or third.
He's this. I think it's the Zodiac Killer. Then it's yours. You start off October with Edgar Allan Poe, and it might be one episode. If it's 2 episodes, it's 2 episodes. If it's 1 episode, we have the Witch Hunters. Which was a case in New York.
And we will wear our hats again.
And then, oh, it was an awful card.
I bet.
The Witch Hunters, and then I think we do,
I know we're booked all the way up to November.
So we do another case, and then we do the Smurl Family Haunting on the last week of October, which,
if you guys vampires too.
Oh, I think it's the Smurl Family Haunting and then the vampires one.
Yeah. And it's just like the history of vampires. It's
the
really,
historical.
Yeah, it's
thing.
not like, some people do believe that they are vampires.
I fully believe there are energy vampires because there are some people, I go around them and I lose all energy. I go down. And if you've never met me in person, I'm a very energetic person. Sometimes too much. And then I will just crash.
Yeah.
Unless, work is hard, and then I crash real fast.
She does crash a little hard. We both kind of do.
Especially.
Luckily, I had the energy today because we're going on our trip, and people at work have been sick, so there's something going around our jobs, and we're both trying to stay away from catching it. So it's like stocking up on orange juice for them while we're gone. Got orange juice for our trip, and I'm like, I'm down in it every day, just so we don't get sick because we have inventory the following week.
Yeah, we have inventory because, like, I have
Can't
already
call
been
out or
told.
nothing.
Yeah, calling out is like a double point for us. So we
Do you
get.
want to get it out and put it in the sink? And I'll fix it. Sorry, talking about dinner.
Yeah, it's rough. But yeah. So we will see you next week. With the Zodiac Killer. Might be a little bit more tired than usual. Might see us with a Dutch roast. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, we'll see what happens. But we love you all. I don't know if I ever do that.
Have you seen the new way of doing it, which is like this?
No, I don't like
I
that.
don't like that. I like this.
Yeah, I like the
That looks more art to me than. Okay.
That looks like a.
Okay, I see the heartish.
I don't like it. It looks.
It
I
looks
like this.
weird.
Yeah. We're gonna just do that then.
It's like how kids answer the phone like this now.
Yeah, it's like, hey.
Hi. It's this, please. It's
Yeah,
this.
It's this. It ain't no. It looks like you're trying to slap yourself. I mean, you missed. You didn't hit hard enough. So that's for another Q&A type point, maybe.
I feel so old.
Okay. I've got a child that wants food, so we have to get off of here.
Talk to her, but I can't because you guys are not done.
So, and he wants to talk to her. So, okay, gonna get off here. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time. It will be Zodiac Killer time. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.